Since COVID-19, companies have been going through a huge amount of change. I'm sure you're one of them. Whether it's looking at structures, systems, people, or even the actual fundamental business model itself, lots of organisations have been going through significant change. And of course they are. It's been huge what people have been through. And actually it's massively impacted the employee experience. And I've talked before about how we help people through the employee experience, how we help measure what we measure and what we choose to focus on. But what I want to just talk about is actually how we help people through change. Because it's so imperative that we track the most important part of our business, our people, through these changes. And to help us at Impulse, we've been using the William Bridges model, which is called Transitions. William Bridges is an author, and he had a really simple model though, but it's very, very powerful. We've used it a lot here at Impulse. And it's as simple as this. It says in the first stage of a change or a transition is an ending. It's a letting go. It's an acknowledging that the system, the process, the team even, is coming to an end. And when changes are announced, that can be really difficult. And as you can imagine, we see quite a variety of quite negative emotions. Not always, but often we can see that in the ending. Then he says in the second phase is, if you like, it's the testing, it's the transition. It's the phase where people are beginning to explore what's possible, that transitioning phase. They're looking into the new structure. They're interested now in that new role profile. They want to know a bit more about how the team is going to be structured. And then the third phase, for those who make it all the way through, it is the new beginning. It's beginning to enjoy and get involved in all that has already changed, that all that has been set out by the company, whether that is a new business model or whether that's a restructured team. Now, I tell you that because it's really important that when you're going through change as a company, you're actually measuring how your people feel through the change. It's so easy to just think, well, we'll just do the change, we'll get through it and hope everyone will come with us. And gosh, I could tell you 1,000 stories of where that has not happened, when actually people have become entrenched, people have dug their heels in, people have slowed the change and the transition because they've not been for it. So what do we do at Impulse? Well, really simple. Number one, you have to measure how people are feeling through change. With a simple question, how do you feel as we're going through this change? And most critically, why? Those two questions alone are incredible for the insights they'll give you, and they'll allow you to adjust in real time. And that's important because once you've measured it, then what you need to do is make the adjustments. So I could tell you of an example from one company who, when they asked after they'd made the big announcements of the change, only recently, they saw immediately the emotions were very negative, but they saw the reason why. People actually hadn't understood, and they said, we don't understand what the purpose of this change is. Now, you know how it goes. I went and sat with the executive, and they said to me, Matt, we told them. I said, how many times did you tell them? They said, well, once at the announcement. I said, it didn't go in. What they heard is there's change, and then their brains switched off and started to think about different things, the impact it would mean for them. And so we encouraged them, because of the feedback they'd had about this really negative emotion that had been caused because of the announcement, and the reason why, which was to do with people couldn't see the purpose, we knew what we needed to do to fix it. So for the next month, the company, not only through the chief exec, not through only the exec team, but the senior leadership team, about 90 to 100 people, all they did for around about a month was just talk about the purpose. So when we ran our next survey, a month later from the announcement, my goodness, you could see a huge shift in the emotions. It was much more neutral now. Emotions like committed, curious were now coming up and had replaced anxious and worried. And the reason why? People started to see what the purpose was. And then once you've done that, you take action and you do what people have asked you to do. You respond to the things that they've said. So make sure you measure, make sure you actually do something with it and you're agile and you take action, and then make sure you tell the people that you've done that.